Hey everyone, I'm at the Port Isabel City Cemetery and I thought we would do a quick walk through here. It's a little bit different culture down here. It's kind of a Mexican-American culture and the cemeteries are completely different. They almost seemed really packed in there. Everybody's real close. There are a lot of flowers and different mementos and decorations to remember loved ones. So they're unique and that they're different from where I'm from and other places in the United States. Even when you compare it to the New Mexico Mexican-American traditions, these cemeteries are a little bit different. So let's go walk through this and take a look around. Now, some of the cemeteries that I've seen are more packed than what this one is. But as they've been here a while, you can see over here how it is so closely packed together. Like these ones here, and they're over here looking at this. These are some infants that have passed away and they're just side by side. There's a lot of mementos and things like this. This says Chief Lorenzo right here. Can't see the dates because of the flowers and stuff like that on it. But there are a lot of different things on these final resting places. All sorts of things to where on some of these, I don't want to move anything to see the name or the dates or anything, but it's just a lot of stuff. This says the Port Isabel Cemetery encompassing almost 1 acre of land, and there's a lot of people packed in this 1 acre. But this was granted to Garcia by the government of Mexico in 1829. The land was known as the Santa Isabel Grant, and Garcia soon established a ranch he named El Frontón de Santa Isabel. But it's pretty interesting to see this old cemetery. And here, these always have photos in them, so I always think these are neat. You can actually see the person that's in there. They were married in 1966. He has passed and she has not. But I don't know. Just don't see cemeteries like this everywhere. And that's what I thought I would kind of show. It's so packed that you really just can't walk through here. I'm not really sure how to do something like that because I kind of feel like I'm being disrespectful if I walk along this right here, and I don't want to break anything. But obviously, if you have a loved one that's back through here, you're gonna have to kind of walk on some of this stuff, and it's, I guess, just a part of the cemetery culture here. I just feel bad about trying to do something myself, especially since I don't have any loved ones in here. It is just really packed in here. Kind of wanted to show you, you know, they do different things. I think I can walk through here a little bit. They do different things with colors so that their loved one will stand out and they can find it. For instance, this is a tree. This blue right over here is a tree that's been cut down. It looks like it's some sort of cedar tree like this. They've cut it down and then painted it so they can find their loved one. But you'll see brightly colored crosses and stuff over there. There's so many flowers in here that really the flowers are not even an indication of where your loved one is. Let's see. So this is a veteran right here. I've seen several of these little things because there's one right here as well. It's just a lot of markers in here. A lot of veteran markers in here. So they do an excellent job in this cemetery marking all the veterans. I've seen a lot. So there's a lot of people that have served the country in here. See that purple cross right over there? And then they have like a purple angel that's, or cherub that's sitting on a bench. They've painted it purple, and then the border around it is purple as well, just so they can find their loved one. There's a lot of religious figures in here. It can be statues, or it can actually be placed on the headstone itself. And we'll walk through here. Like I said, it's kind of difficult to figure out where to walk. There's a Marine from World War II right here. Juan Rodriguez, 1925 to 2006. So, a lot of stories and a lot of history in here. And it's really difficult to see where people were at in here and where to step. And I definitely don't want to be disrespectful. I kind of wanted to show you some of these colors in here. These colors are really pretty. And all the flowers, it's really something to see. It's good to know that this cemetery is well visited, and it looks like practically every final resting place has had visitors, you know, their loved ones and friends and family members. This is obviously kind of sort of a newer part. It's not so packed as what all of this is. Like I said, there's a big statue back there. Not sure how I can get back there to it though. See if we can find a way without being disrespectful. No intentions of doing that, but I really don't know how to get back to it otherwise. So some of these, most all of these have these borders like this around the final resting places, and people have planted different things in here that permanently grow. But here you can see sort of an above ground crypt here, so that's pretty neat. It stands out because it's completely different. And thought we'd make our way back to this center statue in the cemetery. This is obviously a child right here, 1967, Violetta Martinez. More veterans here. There's a lot of veterans in here. We've got U.S. Army, World War II. This is the U.S. Coast Guard, World War I. This is just a veterans row right through here. And then of course, a few going down through here. There's a beautiful looking figure there on top of the marker. So this statue here is quite large, kind of in the center of the cemetery. Sanctus, Sanctus, Sanctus. Oh, you know what? I thought maybe that was just a cemetery marker, like a religious marker for the whole cemetery that I see in other cemeteries, but it is not. It looks like it's a Garcia family marker, 1856 to 1895. Oh, a Garriga marker, not Garcia, I'm sorry. And then a baby Alice and John Garriga. And then Elizabeth Baker Garriga, and that is 1862 to 1898. So that is a large one. It in a way kind of reminds me of New Mexico, but it's totally different. This is so packed in here. You don't see them packed like this in New Mexico. But what makes me think of New Mexico are these things like this, which I love those things like that. Like I said, a lot of religious figures. This is the bay right here, Port Isabel, Texas, the bay in between Port Isabel and South Padre Island. So this cemetery has an amazing view right here. I think this is a hotel right over here on this side that you can stay at. A lot of things in here, but there are several like this here. I know it's kind of hard to see. It's just so hard, and I don't want to be stepping on all this stuff, but there's another one right there, and it has a lot of stuff in there. It looks like maybe some photos, some flowers, and some different things. But it's really difficult to try to find a marker in this cemetery that doesn't have something on it. A flower, flowers, there's lots of flowers on it, or something like that. Here we have some newer ones right here. But this is just one packed cemetery, and it's maintained. I mean, they water these things. It's a dry area sort of down through here with all the heat and the salt, but it is a nice cemetery, and neat to look around. A lot of history. That's that big one right here. That's quite a memorial marker right there. Guess it's just all above ground. See, here's one here. It's just marked by metal. I don't think there's a marker at all there. And then this family really comes out and waters this one. The grass is so green right there. And then they have a sign that says, "Do not cut." There's another above ground. Well, this is the one. So I guess it's not a picture. There's a religious figure inside there. And some roses and some flowers. Then they have some right up front here. This whole section says "Do not cut," and the grass is so green and beautiful. So it's so interesting to look around in here. And then they got some plants right here, and a sign here that says, "Please do not cut plants. Por favor, no cortar las plantas. Gracias Dios, God." So, thought I would do a quick walkthrough of a cemetery here in Port Isabel, Texas. Completely different than what most people are used to. These are kind of some old flowers, I guess, that they've gathered off of the final resting places. But I wanted to show just sort of a little bit different culture. No matter where you go, it's different, and which I always enjoy seeing all the differences that we have as Americans. And there's differences in Oklahoma, and there's differences in Texas, and all across the United States. But these right here, they make use of every little piece of plottage that they have. And there's no space wasted whatsoever. But it does make it a little challenging to walk through here, as I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody. So I'm trying not to walk on anything or the borders. So it makes it a little bit more challenging to try to get to where you want to go. This is nice and green there too. You can see all the little tokens of remembrance and all these things. Little flower pots. Some of them are live plants that they've planted. Very interesting to see though. And I don't know, if you're ever in Port Isabel, come take a look at it. Sure, there are other cemeteries in the area, Brownsville, stuff like that, that you could look at, and they're probably similar to how this is, would be my guess. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the Port Isabel City Cemetery. Thought it was worth showing. I think it's really beautiful with all the little flowers and the colors, everything that they've done to decorate each individual final resting place. So it's a little bit different culture, but I thought it was interesting to walk through it. Didn't walk through the whole thing, but I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time.